Good morning. I'm really excited for Once Human today. The change that I've been waiting for a long time is finally happening. There's not going to be any more world merges on the permanent servers. Today is September 10th, and today is the last day they will do merges. Starting tomorrow on September 11th, the permanent servers are now permanent. And this, in my opinion, is a great change for a lot of reasons. Number one, Starry Studios, about 2 years ago, when they had an idea for their game, they knew what they wanted their game to be. And as they've released the game to their audience, the audience has said, we really love your game, but not necessarily your design. A 6-week season in a game is really, really short. So through feedback, we've been able to negotiate, I guess, with Starry and NetEase to get permanent servers. The problem is the permanent servers had a little bit of a flaw, and through consistent feedback through the player base to the developer, through the content creators, directly on their social media, Starry has realized that the feedback is that the players want the permanent servers to be long-term stable and consistent gameplay. The goals the players want are undermined by world merges. This is where I'm really impressed with Starry Studios, and believe it or not, NetEase, who has turned over a new leaf in the publishing realm. What they did was they broke this down into two problems. How do we deliver content to permanent servers? And how do we solve the technological limitations? Well, as of today, they're able to solve the technological limitations. And so permanent servers are permanent. Now, why am I so excited about this? Because if they're willing to make the permanent servers permanent, they'll probably start making more money because this game is completely free to play. If you like looter shooters with dungeon running and some open world content and some survival mechanics mixed in, Once Human is the game for you. It's completely free to play. There's a link in the description, but it's completely free to play. No hidden paywalls, no pay to win, no gotcha boxes, none of that. Now, there's RNG in the cosmetic cash shop, but their cash shop, as I talked about in the video up there, is houses only. So now that players are going to be able to build nice houses instead of merge surviving houses, I think Starry Studios and NetEase are going to see the player base coming back around. Now, why was the world merge thing such a problem? Just so everyone's on the same page, this is what a server would look like, and on that server, you would have multiple worlds. And when your server started, there was probably a sister companion server. And these servers would go through about 6 weeks, a little longer, a little shorter, depending on the scenario. But I've chosen Manibus, so about 6 weeks. At the end of the 6 weeks, one world on each server would be identified as the surviving world. And this is 99.9% the way they're going to do it, because they didn't talk about not doing the merges this way. So you will still have to collapse down to one world. After you collapse down to one world, you do the last couple of weeks of your server in the settlement phase, and then it's time to join the permanent server. So there is a permanent server. It has 4 worlds on it already, and your 2 servers are going to come in total and be a world. So once that merge is done, this is what your permanent server looks like. Where the problem was, is that periodically, the low population worlds would get identified and you would be forced to merge into one of the remaining worlds. Well, anybody that plays an open world base game knows you're going to lose your spot, you're going to lose your resources, be a pollution zone or an oil field. And for some, our peers, who are the people buying all the cosmetics, they're going to lose their view, they're going to lose their neighbors, they're going to be forced into new alignments. And that's a big deal when you're asking people to shell out $50 for a cosmetic pack for their house. And then, of course, what would happen is when other servers reached their maturity, they would merge into your world, not really creating that long-term stability that the players wanted. Now, what's the big win for players here? And I don't care if you like Once Human, or you hate Once Human, or you play 6,000 hours like I have, or you tried it and you hated it. The big win here for players is there is a game studio and a developer that are literally telling you, we're closely monitoring your feedback. We're investigating and addressing the issues you bring up. and we're working with you to change the game how you want. This is a massive win for gamers, because if we can get companies like this that'll actually accept feedback, and they love feedback. Trust me, I've been talking about the permanent server thing, and I feel as a person and as a creator, they've always been receptive to the feedback. If this is a game company that's willing to listen to players, then it's a game company that you as the viewer can support the creator, and the creators can talk to the developers on your behalf. And we have that. We have an amazing content creator program, so shout out to the team that makes that happen. What's even better is you don't have to go through a creator. You can go on the official Discord, you can leave feedback. You can leave it on their tweets. You can leave it on their other social media. And you can even leave it in game in the leave feedback. And they collect all of that and they look through it. And I can honestly say, I feel like they address it, because many things I've brought up have been talked about and I've been given answers as a content creator. Yes, we hear that. No, we're not really likely to change that, but we heard it. The content creators often have events with the developers, so you can feed questions in through any of the creators who are in the Beyonder program or in the overall creator program, because all those creators are invited to the events with the devs. With that said, if you have any feedback about the new permanent servers, leave that in the comments below. And I got to get this in a post, and I will be streaming tomorrow when the permanent server change goes live. It might happen after my show. I don't know what time they're doing it, but on Tuesdays and Saturdays, I usually do Once Human. Those links are in the description below, and we can talk about it then.